Ladies and gentlemen, in trees and multiforms, and a special welcome to those who get that reference. I was never the best MPXer, nor the worst. Oh, and look, I've already started us off with a lie. Sometimes I was the worst. Always, really. I suppose taking great pleasure in annoying my betters is not the best method for success. I'm sorry for being such a pest, Mr. Kaneko. Oh, look at me, lying again. I'm digging myself deeper. I'll start over. That's not that helpful. Everyone knows that. So, if you could just leave. Yeah. Just stay there. Yes. Starting over. Hey everyone. This way I'm speaking, relaxed, but not lazy, it's conversational. Speaking conversationally is... Speaking conversationally is, of course, effortlessly easy when one is having a, well, conversation. The tricky bit is when you have to write that way. Like with the script, as much as Miss Calibro was insistent that we come prepared, I just wanted to wing it. Be prepared, she kept saying. Contrary to common belief, she's not a Girl Scout. Laughter. Oh, that comment on the laughter. That was scripted, you know. But now I'm just bragging. Being prepared is terribly important, though. You can't cook a meal without being prepared, go on a trip, raise a child, pay that child's astonishingly high tuition, pay that child's astonishingly high-end raising tuition, tried to relate to an audience 40 years older than you, except in this case the audience turns out to not actually be parents like I was expecting, but you know, didn't want to adapt in the middle. Go camping on Mount Everest, dive the Marianas Trench. There's a lot of things, especially things like cooking a meal. So you're going to cook chicken soup. Do you just toss chicken in a pot and let it boil and hope for the best? No, really, just no, that would not work at all. You need a lot of ingredients, like stuff that I kind of forgot the name of. Carrots, yeah. The important part is that you need a recipe to follow, and a recipe is kind of like a leader. You submit yourself to the recipe's instructions and you get a tasty reward. It's quite wonderful. It is weird, though, taking instructions from a sheet of paper. Turning page without being too awkward about it. So this is our recipe, the one we used for the competition. It's pretty complicated as recipes go, but that's because it instructs each of us individually at the same time, if that makes any sense. Like it has each of our names and then all the stuff we do. And there's no way we could have done it without this. This was our Excalibur, our superpower, superhero reference there. We couldn't have done it without this. And I guess in a way that sort of taught me that coming with a plan is basically the only way to do things. I couldn't come up what that's it's really suspicious. Well, with you, why are you still distracting me? Why? Just, yeah. I'm not sure why you're doing this. Why are you coming back? Do you understand that I am doing a presentation in front of like people and it's being graded and you are interrupting me and you are waving magnets and knives around, which is really creepy. And could you just do this later? When this is over, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. So, exactly. Exactly. Okay. I have no words for that. Well, to my transition. Oh, I transitioned to artwork. Okay, so if you've ever wondered what annotating on an iPad looks like, this is it. Annotations have always been kind of difficult for me, seeing as how I utterly hate and loathe them and want to destroy them, and never want to ever do them again. However, contrary to the beginning of the year, I actually do see a benefit in them now. Because before, I kind of felt like they did nothing and they were a waste of time, and because I have motivation problems, if something doesn't seem to have a point, it's just about impossible for me. But what I discovered after Miss Calabrew's insistence that I keep going is that if you do it quickly, it can sometimes make you notice things that you wouldn't notice otherwise. So I guess this thing got me to discover something. It's really quite shocking. I am not always right. It was a big surprise. But it is good to know, I guess, though I don't think I'll notice it too much later, seeing as how I kind of am always right. You know, in this certain situation. Yes, my plants did die, but you don't have to make fun of me for it. Or point it out, or look happy about it. Or be here. And I've kind of given up on getting you to leave. But, I mean, really now, insulting my plants, that's not the nicest thing. It's really not. So you know what? Exactly. Now that that problem's dealt with. Yes, dead plants. Our plants died. This was very bad. It was made fun of. Moving on. Okay, that's not as bad as usual, actually. Yes, in fact, I did bring all of those things. So, anyways, this is about responsibility. Because I, along with all the members of my group, had to bring all these ingredients for our cooking competition thing. Someone just walked in the door, and this is very distracting. Please close the door quietly. It was kind of tempting for me to just think, you know, whatever, I just won't bring them, because, you know, it's just a competition, and it's going to be stressful if I have to worry about bringing them, so maybe I just won't. And sure, that stress management strategy might not get me anywhere, but it works when I'm just alone, sort of. At least I'm the only one suffering. The thing was, this was my whole group. I could fail myself, and it wouldn't necessarily be morally reprehensible, but when I'm bringing others down with me, if I wasn't to bring my ingredients, that really wouldn't be okay. So this helped reinforce the idea that, at least when I'm with a group, I cannot just say, being homeless is fine, whatever. I can fail school, it's totally cool, yep. You can't do that in a group, and because of all the group work we do, I think in general I'll probably become more responsible about things. Hopefully. So for my last thing, my last artifact I suppose, I'm going to show you stuff I did preparing. This is like my planning for the PLL itself. So this stuff, this is Mahina's. I was asking her what hers was like because I hadn't started and she was almost done, which is usually the way it goes with me. And she showed me that she had done this whole complicated drawing, and that kind of got me realizing that I should not try and make a fancily drawn superhero. Thus, the useless guy who points out obvious things and does nothing. It is completely useless and really annoying. Yeah. What's next? Oh, so this is me writing the script. Here you can see script writing, more script writing, and selecting fancy stuff. And lots of script writing. And then I had to decide which images to use. Like, this one looked kind of good, but it has weird fuzzy edges. And then that one was nice and clear backgroundy, but it was kind of ugly. So there was lots of figuring out what would be the most attractive. And more on that, making graphic stuff. There was, of course, the drawing of Mr. Useless Guy. And thanks to a wonderful feature in Keynote, you can remove backgrounds and things, which I discovered. So transitioning from ugly white background to clear background. And that is probably about the end of it. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you for putting up with me for this long. I'm sure it's been rather interesting. That's the end of it. I hope it wasn't that bad.
Okay, any questions? Yes, ma'am.
What were your 5 skills? Okay, I know everyone was going to say that, and I didn't want to focus specifically on the skills themselves. That's really dull, and everyone does it, but okay, I'll try and find out. So there was conversational writing / speaking at the beginning. Preparedness, you know, the recipe and stuff. Annotating things and learning that I'm not always right. That was kind of like a second thing there, even though I still don't believe that because I'm totally always right. My stress management strategy not being so good, coupled with responsibility in a group.
That's kind of a weird one. Wait, so go back again. Stress response? Or
my stress response, learning my way of dealing with stress could be changed, coupled with.
That's an important one right there.
I'm not going to do it, but I understand that I should, which I didn't understand before. I'm still not going to do it, but you know.
You did, but you did it.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, in a group, but that's different. I'm not going to do it alone, just when in a group, because I realized that I can't bring them down with me. So I'm going to be horrible.
Interesting.
I'm still alive, just saying. But,
No, but you did it.
yes, sort of.
So you do have some sort of moral.
I guess. But I don't like the idea that you feel victorious, so
I'm not. I'm just.
You seem pleased.
I am very pleased, actually.
You see? And the final skill was like planning and revising stuff, like the POL creation itself.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes?
How long did it take you to make this?
Well, it's kind of deceiving because it took like a night, but I got progressively less productive throughout the night because you know, you get tireder and you're just like writing with your eyes closed, and it's, yeah. So if I had been doing it like at a normal pace without pulling an all-nighter, it would probably only take like 4 hours, but because it got less and less productive and I had to do it all at once, it took kind of a while because I kept getting really tired. Yes?
Did you do this last night?
And so if I
Yes.
did,
You turned it out